I was playing some customs earlier, and as we all know, the customs website is infested with stream slops. But I noticed that a new feature was added to the website. Now we can filter out patterns. So, as any person tired of playing only stream slops, I filter out streams and then copy the most popular maps. And guess what? More stream slops. I thought I was still getting stream slops because in the pattern description, the maps were categorized as unknown pattern, which means that the mapper didn't even select anything when they uploaded their customs to the website. So I was still getting the stream slops, but now from even lazier mappers who didn't even bother to select the stream pattern when they uploaded their maps to the website. To solve that, I thought if only filtering out streams won't work because of the unknown pattern maps, the solution might be filtering out streams and selecting jumps. That way, the streams are gone and the unknown pattern problem is also gone. But guess what? I was wrong again. I was still getting stream slops. The more I play customs, the more I realize the proportions that stream slops have taken. It went from every other map to almost every single map on the website. I have seen many different opinions on what a stream slop is, how to solve them, and many other things. And I wanted to share a bit of my perspective on them as someone who doesn't play as much as they used to, as well as sharing a quick little theory on why we see so many stream slops in Soundspace custom maps. I would first like to make clear what stream slops really are, or at least a definition I will be using in this video. I have seen a lot of people who think that stream slops are simply maps with streams. And I have also seen a lot of people who would only qualify a stream slop as a map that has continuous streams from start to finish. I personally take a bit of a midpoint on that matter. For me, a stream slop is a map where all of the drops consists of only streams. And those streams pose no variety across the map or compared to similar ones, apart from their BPM. I personally count not only stream maps but also wall maps. I won't say my theory on why costumes are infested with stream slops yet, but I will give a bit of an insight into the debate on why stream slops exist and whether they're good or bad for the community. Nowadays, more than ever, we have seen a big influx of new players. Nowadays, the game is hitting around 250 players at peak hours. And a couple of months ago, we saw the game hit 400 players at peak hours. As the community grows in general, we start seeing more new mappers. A lot of the mappers we're used to have mapped for years, most of them at least since 2023 when Soundspace Plus released. So they have a lot of experience mapping and their maps tend to be more polished. With this new influx of mappers, a lot of them came and started to map less polished things, copy-pasting a lot of the same pattern throughout their maps, simply flipping them or doing some very small changes so that the map isn't entirely the same. I have done the same thing in a lot of my own maps, though I'm not really a mapper and I haven't mapped any stream slops. But I really can't blame them for flipping some patterns to make a map. The issue doesn't begin when mappers make unpolished maps. This is normal, that is expected from beginner mappers. The issue also doesn't begin when those mappers don't make tech or complex patterns. Because again, they're beginners. They're not gonna make a super complex tech map. The issue begins when the only pattern the mappers decide to make is the one with the least variety. And when there are so many of them that it becomes hard to find any other pattern besides streams. Streams are not very diverse. They can be clockwise, counterclockwise, vertical, horizontal, but that's pretty much it. At least for the most basic streams. There are screwjacks and spins and many other categories of streams. But what we see and what is easiest to map are only 4 variations of the pattern. If you take other pattern like jumps, there are super simple jumps like star patterns, but a lot of them are much more unique, even though at the end of the day they're all jumps. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of pattern categories in the mix here. Again, I'm not really a mapper, so I'm not the best person to list a bunch of sub-patterns of jumps or streams. But as a player, I can confidently say that streams tend to be very similar across every single stream map, with the major difference being the BPM. Beginners tend to like streams over jumps because streams are a single string of notes that is easier to understand and follow. Beginner mappers tend to like mapping streams because after finishing a couple of sections, they can just rotate, copy, and paste those sections again and again to finish up their maps. Players who aren't very active tend to like simpler patterns, which usually include streams. They are more familiar with those patterns and can play them without needing to grind or understand them. So if people like playing them and people like mapping them, are stream slops really an issue? I would personally say that they are, for a couple reasons, some more personal and some more general. 1. Mappers take longer to learn how to polish their mapping. When beginner mappers only make stream slops and players play them a lot, it creates incentives for the mapper to keep making the same thing. It creates a loop where they map streams over and over again, which creates a comfort zone those mappers never want to leave. 2. Players take longer to learn new patterns. While the old players who aren't very active don't benefit from learning anything new, the new players do. Streams are easier for new players, and this creates the same issue as with the mappers, where it creates a comfort zone they don't want to leave, making it take longer for them to learn any other patterns. 3. It hurts map discoverability. When most of the maps uploaded are stream slops, it becomes harder for the players who want to get out of their comfort zone to do so. While you might argue that you can simply filter out streams and filter in something like TAC, you not only lose access to all good TAC maps that include streams, but there are also stream slops that for some reason aren't tagged as streams but are tagged as TAC. It simply makes it harder to find maps with other patterns. 4. Good stream maps get buried. Not all stream maps are slops. You can still have diversity within mostly stream maps, not only by making more unique streams like quantum streams, but also by mixing in other patterns. A stream map is a map where the main pattern is streams, but that doesn't mean you cannot mix jumps, slides, or any other pattern in the middle to make the map more unique and fun. When there are so many stream slops, it becomes harder to find good stream maps. 5. Streams are boring both to play and to watch. When all that changes from one map to the other is the BPM, it becomes very repetitive. Maybe the players that have played only for a couple of months don't really find it repetitive, but the ones who have played for years sure do. I'm not saying all players who have played for years find them repetitive, but they do have a tendency to dislike stream slops. 6. Stream slops can create a false perception of what good maps are. When a new mapper joins the community and browses through custom maps, all they see are stream slops. Naturally, they're going to assume those maps represent what good mapping looks like. This isn't really about mappers refusing to leave their comfort zone, but rather about them not knowing any better. New mappers learn by looking at what other people make, and if most of what they see are repetitive stream maps, they're more likely to copy those same ideas. This creates a cycle where stream slops encourage even more stream slops, making it harder for new mappers to discover what polished mapping can actually look like. But how does stream slops came to be? This is just a theory on why, of all patterns beginner mappers could pick from, they pick streams. I think the problem really starts between the release of Rithia Online and Steam Rithia. When Rithia Online first launched, the only good maps to farm RP were legacy maps. There weren't a lot of ranked maps, and the ones that were didn't give a lot of RP. But as the game evolved, more maps were ranked and the RP algorithm changed. The system started showing a very clear bias towards stream maps, where stream maps give significantly more RP than any other pattern in game. My personal skill set focuses primarily on jumps, but I'm also good at TAC and quantum maps. My skill set is what many people would consider to be the furthest thing from stream slops. And yet, I gain way more RP by playing streams than any other pattern. That said, I do need to say that I haven't played Kunev's game in months. When players realize that stream maps give significantly more RP, they naturally start playing more stream maps. When mappers realize that players are playing more stream maps, they naturally start making more stream maps. Since the Soundspace and Rithia communities overlap so much, it's only natural that the mappers who map on Rithia also map on Soundspace, which explains why we see so many stream slops on Soundspace costumes. At the end of the day, I don't think that streams are inherently bad. Some of my favorite maps are streams, and streams have their place in the game. The issue isn't that stream maps exist. The issue is that they started to become so dominant that they started to crowd everything else. When players mostly play streams, mappers mostly make streams. New players and mappers start to think that streams are all there is to the game. This creates a cycle where the same type of map keeps getting made over and over again, making it harder for other patterns and mapping styles to grow. Maybe my theory on why stream slops became so common is completely wrong, but one thing is clear. If you browse through costumes today, you find far more stream slops than what you would have a couple years ago. Whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's up to you, but personally, I would rather see a custom page filled with a variety of patterns than one where every other map is just another stream map with a different BPM. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing, as it really helps the channel and I really appreciate it. If you want to read the full video script, it will be in the description. I'm publishing it on Ansilian, a new platform I'm working on to help me make content and organize my projects. My hopes is that it eventually becomes a hub for actually good soundspace information with guides, articles, and other resources that are easy to find instead of getting buried in Discord messages or scattered across different websites. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to check it out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.